Paul, my story around HIV is unique, like everybody else's is. I was a child of the 50s and the 60s, and I was taught to be repressive in terms of sexuality, so I never acted out. I didn't come out until my early 30s, after being married and having 2 children. And it got to the point where I knew I was gay. I was trying to push it down and not deal with it, but eventually it got to the point where I had to start facing myself. I didn't want my children to see me living a lie, because I didn't want them to live a lie. I want them to accept themselves for who they are. So I came out, and as a result, I lost my family, and we split, and my kids and I had a rough time of it for a while. I did stay in town. I didn't move away. I kept my job. I stayed in support of them and visited with them frequently, and I started my gay sexual odyssey, if you will. I started dating men, and that was in the early to mid 80s. HIV was running rampant through our community, and it seems like everybody I met disappeared, or at least was getting sick, and there was a lot of death. I had a doctor who passed away, and several friends who died, and a lot of acquaintances who just disappeared and found out they had died. And I met people in the city, and met people in Sacramento where I was living, and most of them did not survive. Some did, and I have a couple of friends now who I've hung on to since the mid 80s, and they're doing just fine. They're survivors as well. I did get tested on a regular basis because I had to know if what I was doing was creating more problems, than I had, and I had to know also so I could take care of myself if that happened. I was doing a lot of unsafe things, and safe. Mostly relied on my partners to tell me if they were or not, if they were positive or not. Eventually, went through the 90s, and I had a couple of lovers who were all positive. My lovers were all positive, every one of them, and they never transmitted the virus to me, which was good. And then in 2002, I went for my regular test, and my doctor called me. I went down. He says, "Bob, you're positive." And my life just imploded. It just completely, everything just disintegrated. I got guilty. You brought it on yourself. Because of your practices. You should have seen this coming. And my whole life went into a tailspin. I took my daughter's advice and changed careers. I figured I had very little time left, so I retired a year after my diagnosis, and went back to school and earned another degree and started my own business, and worked really, really hard, and eventually got to the point where I could no longer do it, because it was just really physically demanding, and it was the wrong decade to start a physically demanding job. It was in my 50s, so mid 50s actually. My partner and I, who was negative, we split up, and then I went to stay with my mom, who was getting really, really old, and and my dad had died in 2000, so she was by herself. We moved in, bought a house together, and shortly after that her health started to decline, and took me by surprise because she was always healthy. And I continued with my therapies. I took my meds, and I switched to this 3-in-1 pill. Actually, I wasn't taking any meds at all up to that point, and my doctor finally talked me into taking this 3-in-1 pill. And within 2 months, my cell count, my T cell count, shot up to almost normal levels, and my viral level went down into undetectable, where it's been for the last 4 years. And so that was a good thing. It told me that my immune system was a lot stronger than I thought, and my vision of the future was no longer clouded with the threat of an early and untimely death. And at the same time, they were coming up with a lot of other different therapies, and people are beginning to actually live a lot longer now than they did in the past. In the 80s, it was pretty much a death sentence. The drugs they were giving people, I remember, were just killing people. I had a lover who was taking AZT, and I made him stop. I said, you know, you're sicker now than you were before, so you need to stop this. And thank God they came out with the antiretrovirals, because I think that's what saved my life and improved the quality of my life. And I'll be taking pills the rest of my life, which is probably about 30 years worth now. And but I don't mind, because I'm living a healthy, undetectable life right now. And I got married since then, and my husband is also positive, and he's also undetectable. So it's working out pretty good. I do get a little concerned with the barebacking, the amount of barebacking that seems to be going on. That's what got me in trouble, and I'm sure that's why the HIV is not disappearing, because people are not taking precautions. They're taking too many chances, and it is too bad, because taking chances will make you sick, and if you don't know you have HIV, you can carry that around with a while, and then it'll destroy your immune system, and your chances of dying prematurely before you have a chance to really accomplish anything in your life is very great at that point. So I look forward to the future. I have grandchildren. I have 5 grandchildren now, and the oldest is 20, he'll be 21. Can't believe that. And my youngest is 3. So a big spread, and I love them all, and I'm so thankful that I was able to survive. It also hurts a lot, because I think of the people who did not survive, and it makes me very sad.